Thank you. Fifth frame, David Gray to break.
After the first two frames, David Gray must have thought he was going to have a mountain to climb. He still has. He's 3-1 behind, but at least he's got his hand on the table and made a couple of sizable breaks in frame 4. Not the best of break-offs, though.
Have a look at that plant there. It looks a little bit off dead straight, but you can screw back. Just go into the left-hand knuckle as we look at it. If they're close together, he needs to hit it slightly on the left-hand side. Oh, there's a fair gap there, so makeable, will he?
Well, he's going to. It looks like he's going to try and make them. I mean, they're set for the jaw and it might go thick. Yes, I thought they'd go thick playing that way, but they did the right thing. Got the cue ball back into baulk.
Same type of shot for Stephen, making sure the cue ball is down in the safe area. Still plenty of life in this match. Looked at one stage, as Willie mentioned, when Stephen Hendry went 3-0 in front. Could be a quick finish, but once you get a frame on the board, David Gray win this one. There's nothing in it again.
Well, Stephen's going to take this on and have not a lot of idea where the cue ball's going to end up, because he don't think he can get back into baulk. He'll be relying on a couple of good kisses. And there's a couple of kisses. Has he got on anything? Only the blue.
Yeah, that was one of those reds you're really not keen on. You've got to play it. But when you're not certain of where the cue ball's going, and had to pot it as well, of course.
Excellent pot, that.
6.
Black available into the right-hand corner, but not the left because of the two reds. This is a good pot. He wouldn't have minded kissing the yellow, but he didn't play to kiss the yellow. I'm assuming the black doesn't pot in the right-hand corner, and now he's played that.
7.
It tells me it doesn't, because he's trying to go around the back, and the black's cuttable, but, well, it's a 3 in 10 shot.
Yeah, he just hit that one a little bit too well, got too much spin on it. Hasn't looked at cutting the black in.
Stephen Hendry, 7.
No value in that, really.
whether Stephen's thinking of getting both reds up the table and leaving the white where the red is. Well, answers on a postcard. We're very interested to what he played there, because that has not worked.
Here's a poor shot. There's no obvious benefit there. Even if he'd got the two reds up the table, David Gray still had an easy shot on. But now that looks an easy miss, but with power, when the ball is tight on the cushion, that is missable. If you'd have dropped it in or just played for the black, if it was on this spot, it was an easy pot.
One.
Straight away going up to bring the black onto its own spot again. You can actually just kill the white exactly where the black is now and hold for that red that's in the baulk area. It doesn't have to do anything with the cue ball. And now that one shot now has developed this into a framing opportunity. The black back in play, pink in open play. He'll be disappointed not to get 60 from here.
9.
Set in the standards quite high there, well, didn't you? 60.
Well, if it had been first frame the way he was playing, I'd say he'd clear up. But he's just gone off the board a little bit.
Yeah, due to David Gray's good play, I must say, in the fourth frame.
15. 16.
Once again, Stephen playing for choice of reds. If he underscrewed, he's on the one he's on now. If he's overscrewed, he's been on the one on the left-hand side. For all the amateur snooker players, always remember that. Give yourself options, because you can't always guarantee when you're playing a screw shot to finish within 3 or 4 inches. So you give yourself a bit more room. You give yourself a room to finish in 3 or 4 feet.
$31. 32.
He changed his mind there. Quite right to get up. Got a few options here to play cannons to hold for other reds. Never good to change your mind down on the shot and carry on and play it. Better to get up and reset.
40.
Terry just mentioned he could play a cannon there. You would think, well, why would he play a cannon with all the loose reds? But sometimes you have to, just to hold the white. He didn't do it there. He's been able to hold the white without playing a cannon. But all these reds are potable, so he'd ideally like to clear without playing a cannon. That's not particularly good. He'll have to play for the blue now.
47.
He's looking at the ones in the middle, but the angle he has on the one in the corner, he can't get onto the black, so it's a stun through the gap of the 4 reds. Got to get high.
48.
Has he got high? Just about. I think a few moments ago, Terry, I mentioned 60 or above.
Even you've got to get them right sometimes. Well, fair play.
Listen, you'd have got 60 from where these balls were.
53. 54.
Still needs one more red, and he hasn't got the right side of the blue, so he's going to be faced with the red at distance. This is frame ball.
$59. 60.
Excellent. Because he has the wrong angle now on this black, he'll just have to play a little cannon here onto the red just to hold for the other one. That's the cannon he'll play. It's just, I was suggesting he never had to play cannons, but you see he's played a cannon there just to hold the cue ball.
67.
And a magnificent break of 129 in frame 2, which is the highest of the match so far. Can't eclipse that here, but he'll certainly make another contribution of 120 plus.
75. 76.
It's amazing, isn't it? As John Spencer always used to say, that you can play a bad shot like Stephen did to start off here. Played that safety and left a red on for David Gray. He had to go for it at pace, and now Stephen's gaining the advantage of playing a bad shot,
80.
I suppose.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's not always about making your own openings. Sometimes you can
84.
be a little fortunate to... If the angle had been easier on the red, David could have just rolled it in, but he had no option but to play the deep screw.
91.
Already made a centre
92.
this evening, as I said, which is 675. This could be 676. The only player in the world I know that when he gets past the winning line, he tries even harder to make a century.
99.
'Very well done.
102. 106. 111.
'No complete clearance this time, but another century to this man's incredible record. Stephen Hendry forges further clear. He leads by 4 frames to 1. Terry, Stephen just taking a sip, but David Gray's shot on the first red, he couldn't play it any other way than a deep screw to try and come out into open play, because both pink and black were at the other end of the table at the time.
Also, he had to get out his cue out of the way quickly because he was screwing straight back, and he tended to lift a little bit because of that. I always found those shots hard, Willie.
Yeah,
when the
absolutely.
ball's tight on the cushion and you could play with power. Difficult shot.
Prefer to run them in with running side, really, that kind of shot. To play a screw shot, you've really got to virtually hit right inside the jaw. Anything near jawish, you've got no chance at pace. We've seen them many times this week. If you hit the near jaw, they won't go in.
Thank you.
Could this
frame.
be the last frame?
Stephen Hendry to break.
Stephen Hendry leading 4-1. Gets frame 6 in motion, hoping that it will be the last. His opponent, David Gray,
Well, as quick as possible.
has run many times 4 frames on the trot in his career. He needs to do it against one of the game's best players of all time.
Just a little thin there from David. Got the cue ball away from the bar cushion.
Oh, one.
With a bit of a spring off the cushion then. Really did come off very quickly off that black cushion.
Yes, you can see how disappointed Stephen was there with the bounce of the cushion, because he's one of the players that hardly ever plays shots to nothing. They play shots to something on that kind of shot. He wanted to be on a baulk colour, and he was disappointed that he wasn't.
Had to get that one right. There's a few reds available for Stephen Hendry if it has slipped off the pack.
Well, I mean, he's played to hold for the pink in the right-hand corner. It was nearly a full ball pot. He hit it almost a half ball. Try to hold it exactly where the red was. How costly would that be? You can't believe it.
David Gray made a 46 and a 69 in the only frame he won, the fourth frame. He's got form, but he hasn't really been creating the chances with good safety or with long potting. So
8.
Stephen Hendry plumb here.
We all know that Stephen Hendry will be going top side of the blue. Not perfect to go into the bunch. That's why he's had a look for another alternative. The red at the back of the pack may pot.
16.
If it doesn't, you can play into the blue. From the blue into the pink, I should say. He'd like to hit the blue into the red and pink at the same time, which would freeze the pink out of the way. The joint of the two balls is what he wants. Now, he hit the pink full ball, and that's why the pink stayed in the pack.
Stephen Hendry, 16.
Now, that's not bad luck. That was a bad shot. Hit the wrong ball. See, that was the line we wanted, but... Yes, this was a shot where he wanted the joint of them and hit the pink full. The pink would have sprung out to the right-hand side. The plant wouldn't have gone in. But a reprieve for David Gray. I'm sure when he played that poor shot, he perhaps was sitting down thinking, I could be on my way home shortly. He's now got a chance to get right back in.
Eight. 9.
He caught that one a little thick through the near corner. Took out any possibility of splitting the reds, but he's got one loose one to go on.
60.
Not so good there. Shorter pace. He's got one down towards the green pocket, so he'll be okay. See the three reds there on the pink are really a perfect split if you can get on the blue good.
Yeah, it's got the perfect angle here. Plain ball, he won't kiss the brown if he plays it plain ball. It's just a case of getting the weight right. Well, he decided to play for the green, but he's now got it to do to get onto. He can't go into the bunch, so he's going to have to play for the loose red on the right-hand side. He's looking at the angle. There's a possibility of going off one cushion into them, but if you miss it, you've got no shot. Well, I'm so surprised, Terry, that he's not played for the loose red there. That was probably 4 in 10 hitting those, because he had to create an angle that wasn't there. The angle he had there, he could screw behind this red on the right-hand side. He really dug deep there, and he was relying on a bit of good fortune, and didn't get any.
David Gray, 26.
Well, I thought David Gray got enough. I thought Stephen Hendry got enough. Both players have a little wry smile, because Stephen now has put David in a bit of trouble. David, even though it's only a 14-point lead, would be reluctant to play safe off the three reds next to the pink, because that could be end of frame if it goes wrong. He'd like to play safe off one of the loose reds. But how does he get back into balk? Well, he's taking a risk here. He's playing very thin, I would presume, to try and get back into balk. Completely mishit it, but he's not left anything straightforward. Even if a red's available, getting onto a colour's not guaranteed. Went for glory, tried to bring the black into play, and he has. Excellent shot. That's why, Terry, were you surprised that David wanted to risk, even though it was only a 14-point lead, risk bringing those three reds into play?
Didn't really have many other options, would he? Just didn't play the shot well. The shot was on. It's a tough safety, I must say, with the added pressure, as you mentioned, of opening the reds out. Stephen's got a good angle here. And the red and pink into play.
7.
Certainly brought the red into play, which was of paramount importance, because he's right back into the frame now. Doesn't have to worry about the pink. He can win the frame just by using the black and obviously the blue.
Twelve. 13.
And now, of course, the black back on its spots makes this red to the right of the black a lot easier, because you can play it at a delicate pace. We've seen a lot of these reds missed along the cushion when they've hit the near jaw, so Stephen has to be very, very careful here that he doesn't leave himself too much of a cut along the cushion. I think we've seen half a dozen of these missed this week. We'll have the perfect view of it before Stephen does here. He doesn't have to put any pace in this at all. As long as it doesn't catch
28.
the near jaw, it's a certainty.
$29.
Just has to drop anywhere on the side cushion here. Chance to win frame and match if he gets anywhere near the circle. And he has, and it's a perfect angle.
36. $37.
Good job, he never played that any harder. The pink's in the way for the natural angle to stun on and off the cushion, so he may have to screw directly in between the blue and pink. Well, his wrist going around the back of the pink, and he's played it perfectly. Perfectly. 30-point lead now with the black in.
44.
So David Gray's had, really, in this match, only about
46.
3 good chances. And that's hard to take in the best of 9. Stephen Hendry has played very well. Couple of lapses in concentration early on in the match. But all in all, he's been, and he's going to run out a deserved winner. We haven't seen the best of David Gray this evening.
53.
He is an excellent player. When he's on the job, he's very, very good. Tonight, he was outplayed.
58.
Had breaks of 129, 111, 89 in the opening game, which could have been a maximum. 58 here to win the match. And win the match he has done. David Gray offers his hand in congratulations. Stephen Hendry goes into yet another semi-final here at the Guildhall in Preston. This time it's the Grand Prix. Hendry wins by 5 frames to 1.